Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at another brand new item from the Legacy Collection that just got released today at Target. This is the Diplodocus. So this is our annual sauropod that we are getting. We had this order back in, I want to say March, and it's finally here. So like I said, this is our annual one. So this is the first one that's based off of not being a film canon figure. I mean, it was in the Lockwood mansion, but it wasn't actually featured like a featured dinosaur. So pretty nice box. I really enjoy the box. It has the mountain, and it's actually the toy, an artist render of it. So it's 56 inches. We're gonna measure it along with the other sauropod that we have to see if this is the longest one we have so as far. So in the stores you can see it displayed both ways. It could be standing or laying. So let's open this one up and check it out. Okay, so opening this up, this comes in a lot of different pieces. We so far have 1, 2, 3. Wow, this is pretty cool. 4. So far is 2 connecting for the neck and 2 for the tail. Let's open the rest of this. Wow, even more. So we have the main body and another piece of the tail. So far this one is pretty big actually. Almost like the potosaur so far, the size wise. Definitely look bigger than the potosaur. So let's connect all our pieces together. We'll have a large piece of the tail. So I have to open this. Let's see how it looks actually. All right, so we have a giant tail piece. This one might actually be one of the longest one we have. And then we have another tail piece. I like to put it all at once, so it might work out better. Let's see the details. So pretty cool. I have little spikes in the back. So you just, oh, it's actually, these are soft plastic ones. Pretty cool. So far it's pretty long. Almost definitely longer than the Mamenchisaur, I feel like. The tail, this tail. So this is the last part of the tail. Pretty cool, it has 2 different tones. Really like the detail on here too. We'll take a closer look once I build it all together. So this tail, damn, this is a pretty massive tail. Oh, it goes in pretty easy. Easier than the Brachiosaur. Let's see, does it stay? So far this is the tail. Pretty cool. And then we have the neck. So we have the thicker piece of the neck. This one might be the longest one so far, actually. And we have, let's take a look at the head. Nice detail. And like I said, the back, these things are all soft plastic. It's pretty cool. So let's put it all together and then we'll take a closer look, a close-up look. So this is the neck. Goes here. Oh, went in real fast and easy. Whoa. I didn't put the tail in because it's kind of leaning forward. And this is the tail. The tail actually has a hard time staying in. I don't know what it is. Kind of loose. I'll have to glue it in. So this is the tail. Boom. Wow. Barely fits in the frame, so let me put it together and then we'll take a closer look at it. It just shows you how detailed this figure is, like all the wrinkles and little ridges, and then it goes down. And you can see all the details they put in. It's not just a flat, it's not just a, it's like blended kind of nicely. So it's like little bumps all over. And then we also have, so the largest feature about the Diplodocus is hind legs are longer than the front legs. So this one has a little kind of awkward stance where kind of his butt is sticking up with the tail. So let's take a look here. So as you can see, the details is pretty nice. It's definitely nicer than, I want to say, the other ones that we've gotten. I don't think it's as detailed as this one. And I really like the spikes because that's one of the features they're known for. So there is no toe claw color. It's not painted. Let's see. And then some huge hind legs. And then it has this long, massive tail, as you can see. So pretty much after the neck going down, it's the same tone with a blotch of gray. And then this kind of brownish color that I feel like Memenchi was originally going to be, even from the prototype picture. And this definitely has the longest tail because the tail all the way ends down here. And like I said, it could be my sample, but my sample is pretty loose with the tail. I have had some dinosaurs that are loose on the tail like that, so I might have to glue it in. So it could be just my sample, so we shall see. All right, so let's talk about the features. Going over the Diplodocus articulation. So one thing I do really like about this one is the neck can go up and down. Not side to side though, but the fact that it goes up and down and has a ball joint head, as you can see here, very beautiful. Works very well, so you can pose it very nicely with the longer Diplodocus this way instead of the height. And my sample keep having the tail breaking off, so let me know if you guys have yours the same way. It could be mine, maybe I have to return it. It has articulation on the legs, see? And then the tail also goes from side to side. Let's compare it with the other sauropods that we have. So the first one I'm gonna take us through here will be the Apatosaurus. All right, so the first one we're going to compare it with will be the Brachiosaurus hammock collection. As you can see, hammock collection is definitely way taller, but Brachiosaurus is only around 3 feet long compared to this one's 4.5 feet. So you can see, even at its highest, it cannot reach the height. So this one is funny because the lengthwise is definitely one of the longest we have, but height-wise it's not the tallest that we have. Another one would be Brachiosaur hammock collection. It has a really beautiful head like this one. Very naturalistic, very Jurassic aesthetics. Go. So we're going to compare with the Apatosaurus. As you can see, Apatosaur I feel like it deserves a second chance with the hammock collection. The proportions are just way off. I feel like they overly stretched it to make a bigger toy. But as you can see, it's much shorter than the Diplodocus that we have. And it has the same, you can see the articulation out here versus this one is small ball joint and it's hidden, not as apparent as that. And as you can see, these giant feet that it has, much smaller. Mattel has gotten much better with the proportions on the feet and things, so they don't make like giant clown feet dinosaurs anymore. And he actually has a longer body than the Diplodocus. One of my least favorite ones. And then another one would be the Memenchisaurus we just got last year. Definitely was the second longest one we have. This one's very similar to it because, like I said, originally when it first was leaked, we thought it was a custom. So as you can see, first thing first, look at the size difference between the legs, like how giant. This is 1 year in development difference. The feet, look how big that is compared to the littler, smaller feet. And just how clunky it is. So I like that Mattel really sized down a bit. And like I said, really, really nice. Memenchisaurus, very similar to this one. Neck goes up and down, along with the head. But the head to me is kind of goofy. It's almost cartoonish. A bit. And as you can see, lengthwise, the Diplodocus is still the winner. So hard to get them all in the same frame. And then last but not least, Dreadnoughtus. One of my favorite ones. This one is still definitely the biggest one we have, the longest one we have, coming in at 5 feet long. This one is about 4.5 foot, so it's off by like half a foot. But I will say, this aesthetic-wise, the tail is definitely way higher than most sauropod, with like sticking upwards versus like down to this level. Oh, it actually can go higher. Oh, this is pretty cool. Just I glued my tail in. So yeah, so he's still definitely coming second longest. I'm going to compare on the floor in a minute so you guys can see the difference. But it's a great addition to our sauropod collection, that's for sure. You can see Dreadnoughtus. And it's not as heavy. I like that the new one isn't as heavy. Alright, so you can see the lengthwise for all of these. Apatosaur and Brachio being one of the shorter ones that we have. And then you can see between Memenchi and Diplodocus, some very similar. Very similar. So in closing, I would like to say this one's definitely maybe top 3 of my favorite sauropod. I love how naturalistic this one is compared to Memenchi even. It's not as goofy. I like that they Mattel fixed the legs and the feet to make it more like a normal sized animal would have instead of those giant clown feet. I really enjoy the spikes on the back of it because I didn't think we're actually getting a sauropod this year, being that we already exhausted all the ones we have gotten from the movies. So it's great that Mattel went outside the box and brought us this one and popped it a Target. I like the color on this one. I really like the dark, the contrast, and then go into it. I just discovered that even towards the end of this, that the tail can go up and down. So it's kind of cool. Like I said, my only thing is my sample, like the tail keep coming off, so I need to glue it in. But other than that, another solid one. It is currently available now at Target. It's gonna be here possibly for another year, like all the other sauropods have been. And yeah, this I would suggest you pick this up for your collection. But I get it. Sometimes size is the issue with these sauropods because where can you display them? I'm out of room on my shelf, that's for sure. So I gotta find a spot for this one. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, so the people that need to scan this code, the code is here for this amazing beast. Thank you guys for watching again. I'll see you next time.